For this video, I think I'm just gonna take you guys along with me as I try to get everything together for my upcoming trip. We are leaving for France in 2 weeks, and I really want to bring my sketchbook, I want to bring my paints, and just fully take advantage of being there and sketch and paint as much as I can. If you've been watching, then you know that I've done that for the last few trips I've taken, and last big trip was Spain, which I did upload a sketchbook tour, and I really liked that I had a sketchbook dedicated specifically to that trip. So I am thinking that I want to do the same thing for France and create a sketchbook, because another thing, I'm very interested in making books. I got this little bookbinding kit for Christmas because I was very interested in the idea of making books, and Christmas was a long time ago now, you guys. I've just been putting it off, I think because it's just new to me and I'm a little intimidated by it. So I figured, why not make a sketchbook to bring on this trip, and that'll kind of be like a way to experiment with bookbinding and bookmaking in a very approachable manner. I created this, it says my first handmade sketchbook, although not strictly true, because I did make a few sketchbooks, I want to say in high school or early college. That was a long time ago now. But yeah, I have a teensy bit of experience in it. I've completely forgot how I did that. So yeah, when I wrote this, I forgot that I'd made sketchbooks before, but this is my little, kind of like a demo. It's just one leaf. I didn't even do separate leaves. I just wanted to get my hands on the materials and see what it was like. So here's my little pencil sketches. And I felt like the experience of using this, even though it's just kind of like a mock-up, it's really fun to use something that you created to create in, if that makes sense. I feel like it's the difference between painting on a canvas you created and one that you bought. There's absolutely nothing wrong with painting on one you bought, but when you create it, it just feels so much more wow, this is a labor of love. I made this from start to finish. So yeah, I just kind of had fun sketching around in this little mock-up sketchbook, and it got me excited to create something for our trip to France. So my next question was, what do I use for the paper? Because I'm using a lot of acrylics, so it can't be too thin of paper. Although I don't have a problem with the Talons sketchbook. When I paint in acrylic in here, it holds up pretty well. Let me see if I can find one where I've really done a lot of paint. I think I thin the paint out a lot. This is a recent one that I did. And yeah, the pages don't warp or bend too much. And this is thin paper. So I was looking for something that's kind of similar in thickness to the Talons, which is what I'm so used to using. And it was just really hard to find. I also wanted it to be in pad form, not perforated or spiral bound or anything, so that I could just easily tear it out. What I ended up with is a bit different. I ended up getting this Canson pastel paper in different shades. So this is very experimental because I've never painted or drawn on this paper before, but just comparing it to everything else that the art supply store had, in terms of the thickness of it, I felt like this was a good bet. I felt like comparing it to everything, all the other options, that this was gonna be the safest bet. Also, I liked the different shades because I tend to paint a wash or a ground before starting a painting. And so I figured that would allow me to kind of get the same effect, even if I'm not painting a ground every time. So I went ahead and grabbed that. And then I did a demo painting on a piece of this paper, just to see how it did with acrylic. And I think it held up pretty well. This is the painting that I did. And it's interesting. I don't know if you can tell on camera, but it is a very matte finish. It's almost like the paper kind of like absorbed the paint a little more than they typically would. And, you know, tell me in the comments if this is not something I should be painting acrylic on. I mean, I don't think it matters, but maybe there's some good reason why this is for dry media only. If there is, I don't know about it. So anyway, that's what I'm gonna do. I feel like this held up pretty well. Like you can tell it's a bit warped, but like that's not a big deal. So yeah, I'm gonna play around with creating a sketchbook and I'll show you guys what I do. This is in no way an instructional video though, because like I have no idea what I'm doing. So it's more like just hang out with me as I try to figure out how to make a sketchbook that will suit my needs for this trip. Yeah, I think that was all that I wanted to show you guys. Let's just get into it. Let's start messing around. I probably will have to watch a YouTube video or something, look at an article, something to figure out how to make this, because I want a cover too. Like for this one, I obviously didn't do a cover, but I would like some kind of protective cover, and also so that it's like hard, so I can maybe like draw and sketch standing up or sitting and not have to worry about having a surface or a table to draw on. Okay, let's get into it. Let's see what we can make. All right, so step one is just to fold all the pages in half. And I have this bone folder from the kit. And then they're going to end up being in leaves of like 4 pages each, maybe. Okay, I do want to do the brown as well. I'm not sure. Maybe I'll do the white, the brown, the orange, and I really like this one. It's kind of like a blue-green gray. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. And I'll skip out on this one. And the blue, I don't think I'll do the blue either. I only have 3. Oh wait, do I have 4? I have 4 of the white, 4 of the brown. Oh, that's right, because I used, what color did I use for my demo? Oh, I used that, the other one that I like. Okay, so I'll probably only have 3 of these left. You know what? I don't know if I want 4 of this color. Maybe I'll just do 3. And then also 3 of this. All right. So with all of these, this is the thickness that I'm working with. How many pages is that? 1. Yeah, I think that this is plenty big enough. Yeah, that should be plenty of paper for the trip because it's what, 10, 12 days? And this would be a lot of sketching, a lot of painting if I manage to fill this up. So I think the next step is to make the covers, which I'm a little nervous about because this is my X-Acto knife. I hope it's going to be strong enough. I'm sure it will be. I was thinking of using this because I have 2 of them. I could also use the back of the pad. It's thicker for sure, so it would be harder to cut. It's obviously like the exact right size though already, so that would be cool. It would just be 1 cut. So maybe I'll try that first, and then if the cut isn't clean, then I'll do the thinner. Also, I need to get this off. Ooh, that's ugly. Well, that was not how I wanted it to be. And it's like kind of sticky too from the glue. So I could cover that over with some other paper or something. I gotta get the glue off. Okay, moment of truth. Which one do I use? This big fat one or this little one? I'm gonna start with big fat. It's getting there. Yeah, I probably won't use this because I also want it to come out a teeny bit further, I think. Yeah, good practice though. Okay, I'm gonna use the signature as a measurement. Yay, it worked. Wow. So happy. Okay, now to just do it again, but I can use this one as a measurement this time, like this. And I think these were the backs of frames. My mom gave these to me. I think she saved them from frame backings. I don't know if you can tell, I'm putting so much pressure on this. Maybe this would be better. I don't know. Which one's better? Whew, there we go. Yeah. I feel like I should paint these to make it look nicer. Should I? Should I do that before I sew it or after? I don't know. I'm gonna keep watching this tutorial. I use an X-Acto knife and then pinch mine about an inch. So the next step is gonna be to clip these guys together. Like that. And then to mark where we want the holes. How far in do I put it? Sketchbooks, because it allows the book to like... Okay, so it's like not that far. Make the mark. Is that straight? Oh my gosh, I don't even know. And then you'll take the owl, I think that's called the owl, and stab it. I don't know if it's meant to be that big, but I guess it probably does need to get that big because I'm using wax thread. Okay, and then to do the other side. Okay. And then the next step is to poke the holes in the signatures. Okay, before I start sewing this, I do want to paint the covers. So I'm going to do that. I might just use gesso and make them white. That way I can paint on top of it afterward. Because I don't know what color I might want to do.
This is more so focusing on the high traffic areas, and then I have a couple of specific tasks that I need to accomplish. Like I said, I only have a little bit of time, so let's get this weekend started. We're starting off in the bedroom. I'm going to change the bedding.
Okay, I just mixed up this color. It's a very like slimy green. This might be too bright for me, but I don't know. I kind of like it. I want to try it.
I want to get this done as quickly as possible.
Okay, I had to tone it down. I tried. I thought I could handle the bright green, but like it was just a little much for me. So I added a bit of red and a bit of white.
The Reads for Autumn video. So while I'm in this.
All right, I can't decide about this color. And also just like the texture, I'm being impatient because it's not even dry and yet I'm handling it. But yeah, the texture also, like I don't know. I'm a little scared that it's gonna like flake off or just like not be a really good material for the cover of a sketchbook. So yeah, I'm not sure. I think I'm going to let this dry and then think a little harder about it before I commit, because I'm looking at the tutorial and the stitching is going to take a while. So before I do any of that, I want to make sure I'm going to like it, because if I don't like the cover, I know it's just going to make me mad and I'm not going to use the book. Yeah, so I'll show you what I end up doing, but for now I'm taking a break. And I wanted to show you when I went looking for my materials, I found these in my studio and I totally forgot about them. These were tiny little books that I made. So I used a needle and thread and I did collage for the covers. Isn't that cute? I think this was the second one I made. And this was the first one, and I was using rubber bands to keep them closed, so that's also collage. And isn't that just kind of darling? Had like my morning and evening like meditations, scripture, habit tracker. I was doing like little journal entries in here too. And that's the back, the collage on the back. There's something really satisfying to me about these, and I remember when I made them, I remember using them and like just enjoying the act of like using this object that I made start to finish to help me add structure into my life. And that's why I've kept them, even though I don't use them anymore and they're full. I like having them, and I had forgotten about them. So yeah, I just thought I'd show you that. Hi guys, welcome to the inside of my closet, kind of. We're next to the closet because I am finally going to go through this. If you watched my video probably a couple months ago at this point where I did like an overhaul in my art studio, I got rid of a bunch of stuff. I like really asked myself hard questions of, am I going to use this? And if the answer was no, I got rid of it. I reorganized some things. It was a great time. And I've done like a pretty good job keeping up with it. But in that video or that day when I did that, I completely ignored the closet because I felt like it was good enough. And I realized the time has come. I need to address this closet because my local art supply store is having their annual back to school sale, or semi-annual, because yeah, school happens twice a year, right? And everything is like so much cheaper during this sale, and the sale is about to end in like a couple days. So I really need to get over there with my list of stuff that I need. And how am I supposed to know what I need if I don't actually do a little inventory? So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm going to address this mess. It's really not that bad. It's just one of those things that you put off and you keep putting off and putting off, and it feels worse than it is. So I'll show you what we're working with. The stuff that stresses me out is the stuff that I've shoved in the sides and underneath. I'm sure there's a lot of stuff in here I don't even know I have and that I don't need. Maybe some of it that I do need. So I just need to like figure out what all of this is. And same for these little pockets. I need to go through each one because I have them labeled. I think for the most part, what it says is what it is, but who knows what I may have shoved in there over the past few months. So this is the job. I just accumulate little things like this. I got this frame. How nice is that? For free. And I'm definitely going to put a painting in this. I just need to get a wood panel that is this size because it is a bit of a weird size. 6x8, 8x9, JK. 8x9. That's a little bit weird, right? Anyway, I will find one. This is my box that I put like stuff from nature in, you know? Like really cool stuff though. So I don't want to get rid of it. I found these leaves on my birthday. Look. Is this weird? Is this weird? I don't know. Okay, I know what this is. This is still life stuff because for a while I was like putting a bunch of cute little things in here that I could just pull out and do still lifes. And then I totally forgot about it and stopped doing it. So yeah, I have a lot of like interesting, pretty paper, and I really would like to use it to create books. Like these ones are nice and thin. I could use these for bookbinding. I could definitely make a book out of these. I can throw this away. I have like a thing for old paper. For a while I was doing a lot of drawings on like old found pieces of paper. And I'm still into that. So I haven't done it in a long time, but I could see myself doing it. Maybe I'll get rid of this paper finally because it sucks. Are you guys like this? I just hate having stuff that I'm not using and like have no specific concrete plans to use. It bothers me. Do you guys remember these? Okay, I always use these for school for like single subject or like single art class. And this one I didn't end up using, but I wrote in like the second page. It's dated August 29th, 2017. I wrote, I always leave the very first page of every notebook blank in case I need to use it later. Accurate. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't end up using this, but I just like journaled in the first 2 pages and then left it blank. And I've hung on to this since 2017 because it's like perfectly good. But am I gonna use it? Oh, you know what I could use this for? I could maybe use this for book covers if I'm trying to make sketchbooks and books. That's a pretty good idea. So I don't want to get rid of it. I won't. I shan't. I'm curious about this. Okay. This is actually kind of hard to come by. This is important. Okay. Okay, I'm going through the box of like nature things and I think I'm coming to my senses. I'm trying to treat myself like a kid and like let myself keep a certain amount of things. But as I'm going through this, I'm realizing a lot of them are just falling apart. And I don't think I'll look at them again. The reason I kept a lot of this stuff is because I wanted to make art pieces, like of these paintings or drawings of them. And for a lot of them, I just don't think I will. But I'm just having such a hard time. Look at this. I started growing nasturtiums from seed in my house like a couple years ago. And it was so magical. Like when I first started doing it, that whenever one bloomed, I was like astounded as if like it was the first flower to ever bloom in the world. And when they would start dying, I would, well, actually, this one I think I cut and I pressed it before it became too, dead. But this whole gaggle of dead flowers is like all of the nasturtiums that bloomed. Sorry, that's my text tone. All of the nasturtiums that bloomed on like that first plant that I planted, because anytime one would start to die, I would cut it, and I kept them all because I was just so like sentimental about it. And I felt like it was such a miracle that they were growing inside my house in a pot. Like this plant was just like, they get long, they kind of what's the word? They like trellis. So anyway, that's why I have this like pile of dead flowers, but I think I can say goodbye to this. I will keep a couple of things though, like, because the more I look at this, I'm like, that is really pretty. I don't know if you can see. Maybe if I put it over like the black of my shirt. No, you still can't see like the detail. Anyway, I might do a drawing of this, and then I have like a bunch of others that I think I'm okay to like get rid of most of them because they're not looking so good anymore. These though, these skeleton leaves, what? That's just so pretty. And these, I don't actually remember where I found these ones. That's unique. That's one of a kind. That's a one of a kind leaf. I'm keeping it. But I'm getting rid of almost everything else, so. Okay, now for the still life things. Isn't this cute? That could go over a lampshade. That would be cute. And why do I have 10 euros in here? I need to put this with the packing stuff so we can spend it. Oh, I know what these are. These are cool. They're all like little paintings. I don't remember where I got these. Ooh, I love this one. That says on. His hat is so cool. Okay, these are things, I can post about these. I can write about this on my Substack. That's what I'll do. I don't need that. Okay, you guys, it wasn't so bad. It did take me a while just to like rifle through all that stuff. But what I figured out is that I have a lot of paper, and I don't have the type of paper that I specifically need to create a sketchbook. So that is on my list. But yeah, I've got a lot of paper. I guess I just need to start painting and drawing more, and then I'll get through it. But yeah, this is looking a lot better. As you can see, no more random bins up top. That's just bubble wrap up there. And then it's still, here, let me flip it. I still have quite a lot of things shoved back there, but I realized all of that is stuff that I'm going to eventually use. And yeah, feeling a lot better about it, just knowing what's in here now. So here is the finished sketchbook. I ended up stitching it off camera just because I was kind of overwhelmed trying to follow the tutorial. It actually was very simple, but I was getting a bit confused by trying to watch video of it. So I ended up actually looking up just like a step-by-step photo tutorial, and for some reason I found that easier to follow. And then once I did like the first row, I realized how simple it was, and it was very quick. Like I think I did the stitching for this in like 20 minutes for the entire thing. I decided to Mod Podge a piece of like pinkish paper onto the cover and back just because I really like the way it looks. It just feels really clean and protected. And then I'm planning on probably painting like a title or some illustration on the cover once the trip is over. I also did the same paper on the inside cover just for that nice like clean look. And I really think it's cute that I left the spine green. Well, I guess that's not the spine, this is the spine, but you know what I mean. I love that pop of green, so I still get to enjoy the color without having the entire thing be like that. Yeah, so this is what it looks like. The really nice thing about this method or this stitch is that it lays completely flat. So you can easily do paintings that span the entire, like both pages. And yeah, I did 4 different signatures and in 4 different colors. I think it's pretty cute. I'm very happy with it, especially for like a first attempt. There are like certain things it's a bit messy, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with how this turned out and I'm excited to use it. I also compared it in weight to the Talons ones that I always use, and this is definitely much lighter weight. It's a bit bigger, but still, since there's less paper and the covers are lightweight, it's going to be a lot nicer to travel with this. And also cool to just be able to fill up the whole thing for one trip. So I also wanted to test out the book before committing to like this being the only book that I bring on the trip. So this morning I did a painting of the sky. I also went in with pastel afterward, just because I wanted to capture that kind of fuzziness. This was the sky reflected on the river. And so it was really beautiful. I'm sure I've included video clips of it. Very soft. And in order to capture that, I ended up reaching for my chalk pastels, which I haven't used in a long time. And now I'm thinking maybe I should bring those on the trip because it was a lot of fun using them again and layering it on top of the acrylic painting. So yeah, I just did this to kind of test out the book. I didn't want to, make a painting on the first day in France and then find out that the book has some massive flaw or something. And yeah, I think it held up pretty good. So I don't know about this, using this pastel paper for acrylics, like if other people do that, but at least for sketching purposes, it seems to be working just fine. And yeah, I really did quite a few layers of paint. And as you can see, like the page held up really good. There was no, like, what do you call it, when the page kind of gets a little damaged. There was none of that. So I can recommend this paper. Thank you guys for joining me for this somewhat chaotic video of trying to figure out how to make a sketchbook and also going through my closet. I hope you enjoyed. I think that I'll be able to get up a video in 2 weeks because I'm going to film one and schedule it. I was thinking of doing like a sketchbook tour / just kind of catch you guys up on the painting I've been doing recently. Yeah, so that should be like simple enough to film and schedule it to go up 2 weeks from now. Other than that, I might take a little break just because it'll take me time to edit whatever I end up filming in France. But you can expect probably a couple of different France vlogs in like mid-October. Yeah, the first one will probably be up mid-October, and I'm going to be sharing with you everything that I create when I'm there and just like taking you along with me probably. So yeah, I'm very excited. I want to say a big thank you to all the people who joined Paint Club. Last video, I launched Paint Club, which is an online community for painters to just kind of exchange ideas, show each other our work, get feedback from one another. And it has already been so cool. It's only been like a couple weeks now, but already like I put up a photo of a painting I'd been working on and like felt stuck on and got feedback and then acted on that feedback, and already like instantly I felt it had transformed the painting. So like that's exactly what I'm looking for, you know? It's been really cool to have that kind of community and like be able to get actionable feedback on paintings and just like hear from other artists. So if you're interested in being part of that community, it is open. You can sign up. It's $5 a month just to be a part of it. Also no commitment. So you don't have to join for any amount of time. You can just pop in and like be a part of it for as long as it serves you in your art practice. You don't have to feel any pressure that like you're signing up for a year or something. Okay, I think that was everything I wanted to share. So yeah, I'll see you guys in 2 weeks for a sketchbook tour. And then after that, I'll see you in France.